fantastic CVG or GVC, depending on how you want to look at it. So I actually put the colours the way they're supposed to go, rather than my retarded way of having it back to front. So we've got in the bottom corner, starting as the blue Celt player, we've got Greeky. He's playing all the way from Arabia himself. And in the top corner, as the red Greek, we have Optimal Acorn, hailing from Pakistan. So, a pretty cool game. These two guys, quite skilled players. So, everyone's asking me for 2v2, and I'm casting, guys. What do you not realise, bro? And because this is a personal stream, and so we've got Optimal going with an early barracks, Greeky hasn't got his just yet. A bit of a late hunt for him by the look of it. Oh, it's going down the barracks now. But anyway, because it's a personal stream, I'm allowed to say fuck as much as I like. So, Greeky taking that third hunt. So, he's a little bit unlucky with his first hunt, but then his second and third are actually so close to it. Whereas Optimal, he's only really found his first and his second close by, I think. Yeah, so he's only found his first and his second a little bit closer on them, especially at that second one of his. Within TC range, basically, or just outside of it. It's going to be very easy to defend that. Okay, I've got a resign. What? Oh, okay. I think that was my bad because I should have resigned as spectator. I think Optimal's net just dropped out momentarily then. Bit of a shame. Took it equal. Same matchup, CVG, so, or GVC, depending on whose perspective, who you're rooting for today. So we've got Optimal as the Greek, Greeky, weirdly enough as the Celt. Oh, shit. Warlock's asked to be invited, but it's too late. It's too late. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck. So, to start with. Oh, fuck. Alright, these guys are rubbish for signing. Yep. We'll just be one sec, guys. Third time's the charge. Charge. Third time's the charm. And, I think Rahani wants to be able to stream this as well. Ah, Rahani's not casting. What? Alright, so brought Rahani along for the ride. We're gonna have a... Where the fuck's equal? There. Yeah. We better surrender, so... That doesn't lag me up too much. These donuts are really good. So, third time is the charm. Both players taking a fairly normal timing on a hunt. Nice, good map. So, start off with, in the bottom corner we've got Greeky as the blue kelp player, playing from Saudi Arabia. And then in the top corner we've got Optimal Acorn playing as the red Greek player, hailing from Pakistan. So, today, folks, these guys are just playing a bit of a practice game. It's not really a show match or a tournament or anything. And they've just asked for equal footing. Probably the most conventional map in the pool, so yeah, looks like Optimal a little bit slower on his Storehouse Greek. He's got his relatively quick. Already on a second hunt, but Optimal's on his as well. Looks actually a little bit slow on his foot. I think he might have. Alright, cool. Should probably help them out a bit. Bit less laggy. We both quit. We quit. Fuck this game. No. For anyone watching Project List is entirely free, and you should fucking play it because it is so sick. Honestly, it is Age of Empires at its peak. So we've got Greeky throwing up an early barracks. Optimal's actually finished his at this stage. Very nicely done. Got the first spearman of his on the way. He's the first one to really have any form of offensive units, and he's rallied it straight at his opponent's base. Look at him go, he's fucking fast, this little fella. He wants to get there, but naturally, Greeky has sent his scout in, did a little bit of damage. It doesn't do an awful lot of damage. It's about 5 a hit, but eventually it does add up. Optimal in the meantime has also rallied onto his opponent's spearman, but this is probably not such a good fight to be taking. Be interesting to see who picks these up, because really these should go to Greeky, but Optimal can steal them, then that's very nice. Looks like Optimal is going to secure them. He's actually got a couple of more spearmen down here, but Optimal's third is on the way. Kelp spearmen actually generate a second quicker once you've got them in constant production, so even though you're a little bit behind on the barracks often, you will catch up and outpace your opponent on equal barracks in the long run if you just constantly keep producing spears, or even longswords I believe, against pretty much all other civs except for maybe Empowered Egypt, or some of the others going into late game. Greeks will actually get a nice tech for reducing train times by about 25%, I believe, that they can take in Age 2, that no other civ does get, so keep that in mind. So their spears actually train, doesn't say there, I'll check out the barracks later. I think it might be 13 seconds or 14. So, fairly nice macro from both players. Doing what they can to pull back the low spear. A good spear battle here. Not really sure who's winning, because Greeky is able to remax a little bit faster on these, but at the same token, the Greek spears are actually better at one-to-one trading. So, just be interesting to see how this goes. If you can manage to maybe slink some hits on the workers and force Greeky to retreat. Here we go. Greeky's going to have to try and pull out just because it's getting so close to the workers. He doesn't want to risk losing too many, because now the Greek player has actually pulled ahead on the spear count. The player is actually down just because his production of them has dipped a little bit. Not actually sure why. I think he might be playing for Age 3. Yeah, Greeky's opting to play for Age 3 and drop the hunt rather than try and fight for it. He doesn't want to overinvest in his mind. He'd rather lose out on it, take the quick Age 2, take the quick TC, stay on the berries for now, take a... He's even... Yeah, this is really smart of Greeky. This fella's out looking. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Stop any potential backdooring from Optimal, because in the meantime, Optimal is just rallying outside of his base on a slightly different angle of attack and putting in it here himself. So both players are doing a really, really good job at scouting out this game, I believe. So, Optimal, he's sort of got Greeky on the back foot at this stage, both players. Going to H2, Optimal is slightly faster. Greeky doesn't really have a lot in terms of his food economy going, considering he's been pushed back on that, but same token, really, really good stone management. Well, not perfect stone management, but he's managed to gather enough for the TC and then some. Maybe even throw down a tower or something. or get his first upgrade after only just having to re-rally onto it, the stone mine. So it's not a bad position to be in. Optimal now has 300 wood himself. He's getting a quick cancel, but so is Greeky. Oh no, he's actually cancelled it. And the spears, they're going around the back to try and maybe try and snipe something. And a small number of Celt spears aren't actually able to respond here. There's so much squish here in this position. So 4 versus 7, that's not a really good position for the Celt player, but they're really only trying to buy time, which I think Optimal's figured out because he's rallied straight down onto the town centre. Whether or not he'll be able to get it, I don't know, considering there's an awful lot of villagers and they're being rallied around the other side. And this is really good play from both players here. Oh, that's really smart. Catching a lot of the villagers, but a lot of them around the other side. So really good micro battle here from both players. Optimal just isn't going to have enough, I don't think. So Greeky has secured it. He's got his town centre. And Optimal in the meantime is getting his, but it's not actually as fast. Greeky, even though it was a bit delayed, it really took only a marginal amount of damage. I think Greeky only lost a worker, maybe? He's down a worker, so I think he only lost a worker out of that. I believe it's 15 and 15. Yep, so it's an even worker time. Spears, it's 12 and 12 versus 11 and 13. Yep, so so the longsword zone actually take a little bit longer to train. I mean the high pass burst actually. I mean the longswordsman then the high pass burst. Bit tired. So anyway, that little scouting one has been killed off. So it's probably going to mean a lot because Optimal, in the same token, he's going to know exactly where they are. Going to be able to try and pile everything up himself. A lot of Greeky's army is still just the spears at this stage. So even though he does have that 5 population lead, he is down the worker, so he's up 6 army pop. He's got that basically locked up in the spears, and he's going to have to be careful here, but Optimal has overextended here, and he's going to lose to these hypers for free. Greeky's going to pick them off with relative ease, because they are a little bit faster. The Celt army, the Greek army, infantry only move at... Oh, the hypers actually move at 7. The Celt army, they all move at 7 as a base, and the moment they get some upgrades, they're going to be moving even faster than that. So that's not very good for the Greek player to be getting too caught out like that with only a small unit count unless you're able to find the villagers and kill them. So that's why you really need to sort of be proactive with your scout, and or maybe even get a single Sari or something just to scout out your opponent. So taking another hunt, second town centre. Optimal, very nice, really nice house placement for now. Just to try and barricade all the villagers, just while they're so vulnerable, with the somewhat greedy town centre trying to guard the other side of the wood line, so he can pretty much just tunnel straight through the whole thing. I think this is going to be more of an army grove rather than a macro grove at this stage, just because Greeky, once he does manage to get a bit more gold, he's going to really need to try and get some druid out to really be able to try and take a good fight against the Celt army, because, I mean, against the Greek army, because the Celt army, it's one of those ones that's it's a bit more reliant on trying to either remax or heal or take fights elsewhere on the map than try and take a conventional straight up fight and win it. So the Greek army, on the other hand, it's one of those where it is really good at the conventional fights, and it really should try and take them a lot of the time with a nice mixed unit composition, which Optimal's done a good job at getting. So there's a lot of workers of Greekies here, really vulnerable. Optimal's sniped 2 already, got a couple more low. Off a couple of units as well, so he's just backing out now, not really having lost a lot himself. Got a small population lead over Greeky actually, so Greeky in a bit of a tight squeeze, being forced back onto just a single gold mine and off that hunt. So he might have only been on that gold mine, but he seems to have a lot of villagers around it, and I'd probably throw down a second storehouse on the other side just for even gathering. Yeah, so he's going to lose the storehouse. Optimal doing a really nice job at keeping his army back as far as he can. Keep all of his bowmen out of slinger range. The Toxotes, They are extremely strong, but the moment the slingers can get in range of them and are able to be microed onto them like right now, they're just going to get shredded like absolute paper. So it takes like 2 hits. It's absolutely nothing. Whereas you need 4 hits from the archers onto the counter archer to actually get the kill. So really nice engage actually here from Optimal, pushing Greeky back on this side. And he's actually chipping away at the workers of Greeky on the top side as well, which is really smart because that gold income being slowly worked away at, even though it's sort of the bank resource, and those villagers just being whittled down is going to be really instrumental, I think, in the long term if you can secure this. And considering the army counts, I think Greeky's in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to have to try and remax with units from the south side of his base, but he doesn't really have... Oh, he's already got the production facility, so that's good of him to see, because I was going to say he didn't have a lot more wood left after he was getting all those units of his, so he's forced to have to really try and retreat out of this main base of his. Optimal is just streaming a whole lot of units in, and he's even taking this gold. This is a really, really, really aggressive, really in-your-face DM gold mine take. Greeky really forced out of his main into his expansion town center at the back of his base. Got a single druid there healing all of his workers up because he knows if they are all left low, it only is going to take a couple of shots to lose a lot of them. Especially with the Saris out in the field now, it's really, really precarious having anything low on the field, even if it is a slinger. Because well, I suppose the Saris and the slingers, it's sort of a double counter situation, so it really is a high burst race, and especially when you're already low, and the cavalry has that little bit more tankiness, it's not a good trade. But Optimal doing a wonderful job at chipping away at Greeky's main base, but not really focusing anything down, but he's managing to pull everything back and rally just in time to take a good fight here and clean up a lot of Greeky's forces. So Optimal has taken game 1.